Okay. Took me a few to get this fucking set up. I don't know why. Just didn't want to function or something. I don't know. But I'm fine. I'm back with the letter again because I can. It's been a couple days since I played it, but I did change a little bit when I last played compared to last time you saw. Ah, fuck. Also, when I also started another one too, just because. I think it's this one. Third one. Yeah. Okay. I did change what happened between Hannah and Zach. I went back and changed that to where he didn't show it to her because I actually really want to see what happens if I keep the relationship maxed out. If that would actually do anything. This is the only relationship I do have like that. Everybody else's is like high, but not like outrageously high, you know. But whatever. After that, I wound up coming to the church. Let's see, gives a good explanation of what happened. I don't even know what day this is. Fuck. Yeah, we talked, and now I'm at a church. Good enough, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, as it turns out, I do have another choice. This is loud. I don't know if it's. Hold on. Okay. I don't know if it's just me that's loud for or what, but yeah. I'm not a religious person. I won't identify myself as such. Rather, I can't. Sure, my grandparents didn't have to force me to go weekly. I'd happily join them. In fact, most of my childhood Sundays have been spent attending service. It's simply that. As you get older, the more experiences you get, forming your own beliefs on things become easier, for lack of a better word. And at one point, it just stopped. That kind of thing. Nonetheless, I hold no disdain for it. Sometimes it does help. When things are really, really bad, when dreams won't stay where they should be, talking does, a bit. It's a good thing Father Norman's, well, he's a completely pious man you'd typically expect. My unlikely friendship is only probably happened because he's the kind of guy who's cool with the young ones, as he so aptly puts it. And he is, surprisingly. It makes him easy to approach. Maybe he has something to say about the photos as well. It won't hurt since I've already gone ahead and went to Anselm at daybreak on my bike. At the very least, I know I won't get shouted at by whoever answers the door.
Unless someone does that inside a church. I highly doubt it.
Yeah. Despite its age, the Luxembourg church is a thing of wonder itself. With its high vaulted ceilings and intricate stained glass windows. One of the many gifts the Ermengarde family donated to the community in its early days. Or so I heard from Becca. She mentioned this once, although it mostly flew over my head then. At this time of the day, the church is mostly empty, save for a few visitors and ushers shuffling about, some muttering their prayers under their breath. The scene of burning candles and incense permeates the air, giving the place a general feeling of reverence. Pretty welcoming in all. Even so, I keep the noise my treads make to a minimum. Disturbing the quiet feels like a sin alone. An usher points me to a pew in the front of the altar when asked where Father Norman prays. He mentions something about the good priest not being in good health. Ever since he was asked by a couple to bless their new home before moving in. Well, this poor dude. This is the first time in days he's left his room. No surprise there with the weird heat lately. Even Rebecca caught something. God, did this father get cursed too because of this damn woman? Jesus fuck, nobody can catch a damn break. Nervous little chap, the kid. Nevertheless, he leaves me close to the foot of the dais, with a reminder not to stay too long before walking off. Seconds later, father shifts and stands. He doesn't seem to have noticed me, and I have to give him a little tap on the shoulder. When he looks, though, to say he's surprised is an understatement.
Stay away.
Oh! So he is fucking haunted by this woman. His voice comes out as a whisper, almost inaudible in the hush. A quiet, restrained deference to where we are both standing. But the tremor is there. He focuses on me with wide, bulging eyes, copious amounts of sweat appearing on his forehead, despite the relative coolness of the place.
Father Norman?
Keep your distance.
Hey, it's me, Zach, remember?
Stay away. Don't come near me.
It must be the fever talking, or whatever he caught. It has to be. Come on, Zach. I don't recall ever doing anything to drive me away like this. All the years I've known him, he's been nothing but polite, nothing but accepting of people regardless of beliefs or status in life. For words akin to a threat to come out of him is simply beyond imaginable.
Go back to where you came from. Leave.
Father, what did I do?
Leave now.
This poor man! I extended a hand to his shoulder, meant to be reassuring, but he recoils, his ankle catching on the edge of the dais as he backs away. His shout when I attempt to reach out again echoes through the entire hall, catching the attention of people inside. I try to keep a level tone, but with the stranger's eyes trained on us, panic starts to weave its way into me.
Stay away, demon. Go back to the hell you came from.
Father, it's okay. I only came here for some pictures I thought looked odd. I figured you might know something.
From my pocket, I fish out the photos and try to hand it to him. Instead, he strikes my wrist, almost like an accusation, since the photo is fluttering uselessly on the floor. Helpless, I can only watch as he curls in on himself, a sad, blubbering mess whimpering to himself. Man, man. He tips his head forward and begins rocking. Hands clapped over his ears.
That accursed spirit, so full of anger and pain. All those horrible things I've seen. And I can't sleep. I can't eat everywhere I look.
This poor man.
Go
Fuck.
away. Go away. Go away. You're not supposed to be here. This is a house of God. Be gone, demon. Lord have mercy, God, our Lord, King of ages, all-powerful and almighty. You who made everything and transform everything simply by your will.
A number of people have moved closer, mostly just gawk. Thankfully, as if to save him from being another spectacle, the two ushers come out, taking him away. One of them, the kid from earlier, shoots me an apologetic look. I can't even return it to him. Anxiety is a powerful thing. A firm notion that clings, eats, and consumes you. I can still hear his prayers, even as they drag him away.
May he keep at bay and vanquish every evil power, every poison or malice invoked against us by corrupt and envious people. And then under the protection of your authority, may we sing in gratitude.
It rings, hums in me as I am left to pick up the pieces of this chaos. Back to square one we go. There is salvation in this. I hope we find it soon. Well, shit. Wait, so... Well, no matter what would have happened, this man would have been screwed anyway. Because if I didn't get, if I didn't have Isabella go with Ash, I would have asked him to, Father Andrew to go and bless the house. I wonder what would have happened if I had had Isabella take him, and then after that have Zach do this. Would he have made the connection between the two? I gotta check that out sometime. Alright, the moon is well into the night sky by the time I make it back. My heavy treads and sound of traffic outside echo my ears, filling the empty room with some semblance of life. Nana will scold me if she ever hears me walk like that. But today, I really can't give a damn about anything. The mattress creaks under my weight as I unsit in my own sleep, flopped down on it, and I find myself looking at the paper under my grip. As promised, Miss Wright had my bike delivered back to my apartment. Found it parked by the rack downstairs with an invitation and a note tacked onto it, in fact. Be there, I said. If only it were that easy, but it'll give me a chance to talk to her about the thing inside their house. With a sigh, I let my hand fall to the side of the bed along with the invitation. I'll think about it tomorrow, when my head ain't muddled with thoughts of the headless woman and the haunting smiles of a ghost. Belatedly, it occurs to me I haven't eaten anything since I left this morning. And an empty, gnawing ache makes itself known, but I can't bring myself to stand up. Today was a complete waste of time, and frankly, a disappointment. I don't like this. The lack of certainty, the disquiet, the lack of stable ground to stand on, the part where I do not know what will come tomorrow. Ever since that damn letter, everything has been thrown out of a loop. I wish everything stayed the same. Routine would have been easier to make sense than this. Closing my eyes, I let the noise from the street below lull me to sleep. At the very least, that's one thing that hasn't changed. Ah, it's another nightmare. Fuck. God, it feels so bad for this man, though, you know? I mean, like, all these people, their life just, because of this curse and everything, it just sucks for them, you know? The melody carries into the hall long before I cross the threshold. Solemn, but gentle and soothing. A reminder of what home is. Pa's firm but meaningful gaze, Ma's wishful smiles, the warm rays filtering through the eaves of the sunset, and the distinct smell of wet earth and leaves after a long day's rain, and our room. The room. Mom and Pa's pride and joy. The place we were once promised several springs ago. Yet it won't stop.
No, wait! Come back! I'll be good this time! Please don't leave! Please stay!
The floorboards are cold under my feet, more than it usually is. The wall is more foreboding than I'm used to. Further and further the room goes. Ma singing ceases, and Pa... I can't hear Pa. Not above the righteous clanging, deafening roars of gunshots, nor the screams replacing the comforting soft melodies. There's only the blinding fear. But when the light breaks... Oh! Her skin has already taken a sickly pale color, broad in most parts, blood dripping from every open gash and lesion on her body. Bony hands grip Hannah's neck like a noose, staining the skin beneath her with a vibrant shade of scarlet. Nothing but malice glows the gleam in her eyes. A scream ripples through the air. My whole body feels distant. Every limb heavy with lead, all unable to move at will. Not even so I can wipe the beads from my temple. The rasping of my breath easily fills the room in the wee hours, while I force back into steady rhythm. There's tightness in my chest that I can't shake off, my heart pounding against it as it was about to burst out. Something cold has settled on my legs. Not the usual chill that comes and goes with the passing breeze from the window, but one strong enough to sting, shackle, and leave a frigid sensation creeping up my skin. With every struggle I make, the pressure winds down my leg, further down my legs, tighter and tighter and tighter, till it becomes too much. My heart stops. Another draft sweeps into the room and brings with it iron tang of blood, thick, suffocating. Filling my nose with foul, sickening smell as I shift my gaze downward, and it slowly comes into view. Yeah, that's what everyone wants to see when they first wake up. Mouth stretched in a hideous smile, and eyes brim with nothing but madness. The stench of gore taints the air around me, and I can't look away. From the terror and death that her uncanny, twisted features alone scream. I tried to open my mouth to shout, to ask for any help, but my voice has left my body altogether. All I have is painful realization and kind of plea that would ever save me from her. Then suddenly, the bed dips. The brutal plunge back into myself jerks me awake. There's no ear-splitting scream, no thrashing of limbs. Just painful, constricting awareness that something has wound itself tightly around my neck. I waste no second pulling a blanket, away from myself, but allow myself a few minutes to steady my breathing before getting out of bed. Exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale. 1 step, 2 steps, 3. But the dreams have gotten worse. Ever since 2 days ago, no longer are they small cursory flashes that I'm used to, but vivid ones that linger. I can still feel the blood in my hands, the putrid smell of rotting flesh, and the sickening crunch of bones breaking with every movement, and her cold, chilling eyes as they bore under me. I draw in one long, ragged breath, and before I know it, I'm walking out the door. Even in the waking world, it reeks. Adventureland Park is far from the most private place for thoughts in Luxburn, considering its location at the heart of the bustling city. In the early hours of the morning, it provides enough peace and quiet for any poor problematic soul who happens to wander here. The city is just waking up, a little later than usual. But knowing what day it is, one can't fault it for being a little tardy just this once. Yet neither the pleasant morning chill nor the soft twittering of birds does anything to banish the images. Every single one has rooted itself in my head, and its claws digging deeper in what is no longer a safe place to hide in.
London Bridge is falling
It used to be
down,
easy,
falling
finding
down,
some pretense of
falling
peace
down.
under the
London
guise of
Bridge
sheer
is
optimism,
falling down,
falling right the
my
routine.
fair lady.
Now
Take a key and
I
lock
don't know what to
him
make
up,
of it.
lock him up,
Sometimes
lock
it's
him
easier to
up.
run,
Take a
easier to
key
hide
and lock
when
him
everything's
up,
falling apart.
my
And that
fair
way you don't have
lady.
to be the first to witness it when it does.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down.
It worked when
my
things went
fair
bad
lady.
with the movie, after all.
Take a key
It also
and
worked when
lock
Mom and
him
Pop were
up,
taken from us.
lock him up, lock him up.
Though the sentiments are a little
Take
hypocritical
key
when you
and
think
lock
about it.
him up,
Think
my
about the little
fair
talk with
lady.
is right the other day. But that's just how it
London
is.
Bridge is falling
Maybe it
down,
really is better if I
falling
just...
down. Hey, mister.
You know, I never thought of... I remember this. Yeah. She kind of looks like Marinette from, Marvelous Ladybug. The tiny voice gives me a pause. When I look up, the little girl, maybe about 6 or 7, is peering at me. 2 wide eyes, overflowing with what can only be natural curiosity one typically sees in children. I vaguely note the Sangority's uniform she's wearing before returning her greeting.
Hey, kid.
Kylie.
Kylie?
That's my name. Mama said it's rude not to call people by their names.
She then flops on the empty space beside me. Her little legs still too short to touch the ground, swinging in tune with the song she hums under her breath. I don't mind kids. They would often invite the ones in our old neighborhood to give them treats. Of course, by then, Sis and I were too old to play with them, but you get used to the commotion eventually. It's not completely unpleasant as most people would imply. Kylie seems well-behaved kid anyway.
Oh, sorry. Nice to meet you, Kylie. Is Mama here?
No, but my big brother's with me. He's taking pictures with his camera over there.
She points to the far end of the park, the one closest to the street where the kid is taking shots of something above him. It doesn't have to be birds, because all there is on that side of the park are buildings.
I don't see what's so interesting with the tip of a building, though. I'd take pictures of dogs if I were him. They're cute.
She's got a point.
Do you have a camera too, mister?
Yeah, I'm actually a photographer.
Mama said I'm too young to get a camera.
I'm sure your mama will eventually give you one. But won't you be late for school like this?
Big Brother will get us there on time. Rowan promised Papa. We aren't going to be late. It's sports day. So it's not good if you keep looking like that today. If it ends up raining and we lose, it's your fault.
All right, I'll try not to upset the clouds today, kid.
Is it because you're sick, mister?
Before I know it, a smile has spread across my face. These sick kids ask a tough question sometimes, and they sure do, with how sincere Kylie looks. Lying feels like doing her a disservice.
No, not sick. Just having a very, very bad day.
Why is that? Is that like when my big brother ate all of my pudding? He did that once and then cried. It wasn't very nice of him.
Yeah, I think so. You see, there's this mean girl. She's given my friends and I a lot of trouble. Hard to keep up when things are like that, you know? Especially when you can't do anything. It's kind of scary. Makes you wish things will just stay as peaceful as they used to be.
Maybe she just wants to be friends with you?
I highly
Childlike
doubt that.
optimism. It's so nice.
She already hurt one of my friends.
What if she's just sad? Or maybe she just wants help. That's what happened with Melody. I let her borrow my crayon when she left hers.
Hmm?
Now we're playmates.
Okay.
It's not really the same thing, Kylie. What she did, they're pretty bad things.
I still think there's another reason.
I mean, fair, but
Did you try talking to her? That's what Mama said I should do.
I don't think that'll work either.
You haven't even tried yet. You sound like Rowan. You're just scared, mister.
well, of course he's scared. It's a fucking ghost that's hell bent on killing everyone. That strikes a chord. Maybe it's the honesty in her tone, or simply the truth in the words itself. I don't know why, but I can't help it. I laugh. Loud enough to disturb an elderly couple taking leisurely walk nearby.
Why are you laughing?
That's nothing. You're a really smart kid, you know that?
That's what I've been doing, ain't I? Ain't it? Going full speed ahead, then backtrack when it gets tough. Staying in my safe zone because that's what I know. Once Dr. Navarro said I should be the first one willing to deal with my problems before anyone else. I didn't show up to our next appointment after that. But he's right. And though I hate to admit it, knowing what I've seen, but the kid makes a good point too. I've been so caught up in thinking there might not be a way out. Maybe there isn't, or maybe there is. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't leave it up to fate.
You better get to school, though, or you'll miss sports day. You should have won yourself some awards, alright?
Alright. Can I show it to you when I do? That can cheer people up, right?
In the distance, brother calls for her, and look at that time to leave. Hey, got things to face. The first few steps to say.
Nah, I'm good now, I think. Thanks to you. Besides, Mister needs to go. But you should show it to Mama and Papa. I'm sure they'll be proud of you, Kylie.
I will. Thanks, mister. Bye.
I gave her a pat on the head before heading my way. Small gesture of thanks from a stranger. She didn't know she might have helped. She might not understand now, even though at such a young age she already has this understanding of things. But maybe when she's older. And the world no longer seems too big for her.
But aren't you going to help me, mister?
With what?
Confused, I glanced back. Whatever cheer our little talk has brought has vanished under the shadows of suddenly danced in my eyes. The frigid air is most definitely not how the morning chill should feel like. Bitter, stinging, unwelcoming. And the kid?
What do you think, mister? Are you going to help me?
Leave us alone! What did we do to you?
The response never comes, however. Because when I blink, gone.
Hello? Mister? Are you okay?
For several passing seconds, I let my stare linger on her face. waiting for any sign of another change. But all that remains is the carefree smile of a child. None of the spite, none of the cold, bloody smile.
Nothing, huh? I really need to go, Kylie. It was nice meeting you.
See you again, mister!
I break into a run. I don't look back, and I also bump into a couple passersby as soon as I'm on the busy street. Going insane. This is what it is. And if we don't do something soon, we all will be. Alright, real quick, what day is this? Fuck. Alright, it was the 29th, okay. So this was the day... Okay, I got it. Alright, the tremors follow me even as I get home. I had hoped a small stroll around the block for a few hours would help. Instead, I'm assaulted by more images of her. Her smile, the loathing in her eyes, the stench of gore, the horrid crunch that comes with every movement she makes. Even old memories have been sullied by her, and Ma's song no longer sounds as sweet as it meant to be. In the end, I'll get a sinking feeling I would never be able to get rid of her image. And another ridiculous idea that may or may not even work. The sun is already hanging low in the horizon when I make it back. For the first time, coming home feels more like a chore. Only I didn't arrive to an empty room. As soon as I'm opening the door, I'm greeted by none other than Ash.
Sup, Z-Man?
I knew it. Oh god, that kills me every time. Fuck.
I told you we should have called him before going here.
Isabella.
It's fine.
Ashton I see first. Sitting comfortably on my couch, munching on a bag of chips with both feet propped on the coffee table. Whatever proverbial stone has made a home at the pit of my stomach automatically flies right out the window at the sight of him. Before any exasperation can set in, my attention is taken by the other occupant of the room. Isabella perches on the only other chair in the room, attempting to make herself smaller, it seems, from how closely she's hugging her arms against her. Nevertheless, she gives me a small smile when she notices my stare. Yet somehow, there ain't any warmth in it like it's supposed to have.
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man.
How long is he gonna say that? Because I get the feeling he's been saying that for a very, very long time.
I didn't break anything this time.
This time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to.
Clearly he thinks different.
And, hey, is that my...
Ash smirks at me, because of course he has the gall to smirk knowing what he did. He pops in what is very likely the last piece of the chip into his mouth, and folds the wrapper immediately on the table before throwing it on the nearby trash. From her chair, Bella shoots me a apologetic smile as soon as the foil hits the waistband with a dull thunk. Common sense dictates I should be angry. But after everything, having something normal play out in front of me, no matter how childish their antics can get, I can't bring myself to muster even a tidbit of it. Behind me, the television starts blaring music for the end of the credits of the movie. They've likely been waiting for a while if Ash has gotten impatient enough to rummage through my cupboards and watch something.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
She's never good with food.
Really? But it's free food, you know? What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food? What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Lady, yeah. Ash only shrugs at the question in my eyes. I can't be the only one who finds this vibe she's given off to be odd. And the guy has no doubt already caught wind of it.
Aye. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for. Ash, he's the one who...
She casts a brief glance at Ash, and in an instant he sits up. Every trace of amusement is gone from his face as he claps his hand in front of him and leans forward. Minuscule gesture meant to ease, yet the grim expression on him tells a different story altogether.
All right, you two, what's this about? I don't like those looks.
A short but tense pause follows. They're both stalling. Under normal circumstances, I'd wait. With these two, the more you force it, the more they'll clamp down on it. But as a handful of seconds continue to slip by, the unsettling feeling in me also grows with it. Soon, it turns to impatience. Before I can abandon a response, though, one of them finally speaks up. It's Isabel who breaks it first.
We just thought we should check on you. After what happened to Rose,
Please don't tell me something happened again.
No, nothing. None so far.
So far?
And we're keeping it that way as much as possible.
Ash, it's not that easy. This isn't some...
We don't know that. Let me...
The bitter frustration in his tone is impossible to miss, but he catches as soon as Isabel draws back. He allows himself a moment to breathe before dropping it for one less harsh, more tempered. Gentler.
Let me look at this first, okay? I agreed to help, but you've got to let me handle things from now on.
I already told you everything.
There must be something we're not seeing in this just yet. We'll sort this out, but no more silly ideas and running around on your own. You're making people worry more than necessary. Becca, especially.
So everything's fine?
Depends on who you're asking. How are things with you? Anything odd?
A lot. A lot odd.
Good, I guess. Admittedly, how things went down at the housewarming party last night threw me off a bit.
I'm not asking about that. Remember the letter thing Isabella's been yapping on about? I'm asking about that kind of odd.
Wait, so Ash actually is contemplating it? He didn't last time, did he? I look at him. Gape, more like. His serious expression doesn't waver despite the perplexed look I shoot him. There is a brief second I let pass as I wait for the heavens to fall somewhere. It doesn't come. The sky is still bathed in vibrant reddish hues as it waits for the night to arrive. Westward is the same busy city, and everything in my room still appears as it did a second ago, including the unnerving ticking of a wall clock. Whoops. But if Ashton, calm, cool, collective, always logical Ashton, takes an interest in this, something or someone must have fucked shit up somewhere.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual. There's a woman now, ever since we saw that letter. I don't know if it's the same one Isabella talked about. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I really don't want to go back to sleep sometimes. Last night was the worst. Anyway, why are you asking about this?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
Got a
Are you
point.
sure you even have the time? Ain't you busy with your current case?
I got taken off that one.
No.
You didn't say you were taken off your case.
I just got the news this morning. Apparently the higher-ups think I'm doing a horrendous job at it.
Well, depending on who he's looking at, like, I'm still thinking it might be the rights based off of, like, the limited knowledge I do have. But ain't there a possibility that the higher-ups actually think he's doing too good of a job and they pulled him off? Because one of the higher-ups was Mr. Lee, who is friends with the rights. Well, friends.
It doesn't matter, though. If these two cases are connected like I initially thought, then regardless, I'm on the right track.
Are you sure we should even be doing this?
Doing what exactly?
There's someplace we'll visit after this.
Too vague for comfort, Ash.
Very
And
big.
please don't tell me you're bringing her with you.
His affirmation comes in the form of a stare, but that alone says all I need to know. What I pointed out gives him a pause, though, and his voice is thick with hesitation when he addresses Isabella.
You know what? Zach's right, Isabella. You don't have to come with me.
It's not myself I'm worried about. It's you. I'll just do this myself, if it'll get you into more trouble with your superiors. At least I can make up an excuse why I need to be there.
Beware!
Don't be ridiculous. You're not walking in there without me. Besides, I think it's a little too late to back out now. Have you two seen the news this morning?
Actually, no, I haven't.
I haven't, actually. Mama called, and I was busy.
Change in the air around her, while small, cannot have gone unnoticed, and it takes every willpower not to ask. Probably the only thing reigning in my curiosity is the fact that Ash himself hasn't brought it up either.
No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Oh. Peace. He grabs the remote and cycles through the numerous channels until he gets to the news report about another guy who has been found dead in the early hours of the morning today. Burned alive this time. Oddly, no fire is spread, and whatever damage has been contained within the place the body was found. Hold up. You took one of my pens. Hey. Give me that. I wonder what he had. The room itself, however, has been completely vandalized. Help me. Help me. Help me. Another murder, the authorities claimed. Isabella and I knew better. None of us shifts even after the report ends, but the room has suddenly felt stifling. Ashton's eyes have gone hooded with what appeared to be unrestrained anger. Restrained anger. And the remote in his hand creaks mildly under his grip. The stone is back in my stomach. A tiny thing gripping my insides, growing at every passing second as the dread sinks in. In the thick of it, Isabella's voice is the one that breaks the hush. A small, weak thing on its own that wavers unevenly between words, but every syllable heavy with meaning.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
When it fades, all that's left in the air is her doubt and fear, while all we can do is cope. We can still fix this.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here. 4 if you count Rebecca.
No, she's staying away from this.
Fair. She turns to gaze at me, eyes steady and shoulders squared as she holds it against the baffled look I give her. The next second, it immediately softens, and it takes me by surprise nonetheless. This brief moment, it's like I'm faced with a different person.
I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking.
Still in all, that's 2 extra heads who can do the thinking. Between us 3, I'm sure we'll figure something out pretty soon.
Don't make this whole thing sound like it's a piece of cake to deal with.
Hey, I know it ain't a piece of cake, but...
It ain't. But better than sitting around, yeah? Plan is still a plan.
You're going to shoot yourself in the foot one day with that kind of thinking. We don't even know who's doing this.
The ghost lady.
The last 2 murders might just be similar incidents done by 2 different suspects.
Hasn't stopped you from going after them before.
True that.
Remember
Probably.
that time when you...
Okay, stop right there. There will be no retelling of that incident today, Z-Man.
Wait, what? Wait, he's clearly bothered by what this incident is. I want to know. It's for.
Forever.
Oh god, is it that bad?
Keep calling me Z-Man and maybe I will.
Suddenly, Isabella laughs. Though muffled by her hands, it rings light and easy against thick tension in the room. Still far cry from him the usual cheer she carries, but brings a welcoming shift in otherwise dreary mood.
Thanks, you two.
I'll tell you about it when he's not around.
Give it up, Z-Man. She's not interested.
Who says I'm not?
Ash makes a face, but chuckles at the jest despite himself.
Why am I even friends with you two?
Because they're funny? And like this, most of our worries ebb away, if only for a few moments. They take their leave mere minutes close to sundown. But regardless of the lighter mood, little has been said of their plan, only vague hints of what they're aiming to do after. While it ain't my business to know, there's something about this whole thing still gnaws at me. A tiny passing thought urges me to do something as well. Hold on, I need to check to see, okay, so good, it did go up. Oh, we're so close to being maxed out. I probably would have maxed out if I had selected to go with him. With Isabella before. Damn, now I'm sad. At this hour, the streets are once again busy with people heading home after a hard day's work. None of the bustle matters to them as they step out of the crowded walkway, however. Ash especially. There's only his goal in mind, and I'd wager there is nothing I can do to stop him at this point. He's probably decided on it long before they made decisions to drop by. But despite this, Isabella lags behind. A worry creases back in her forehead as she watches Ash get into his car.
Something wrong, Bella?
No, actually, can you check on Becca for me after this? I really didn't get the chance to tell her where I'm headed off to.
Where are you heading
Tell
off
her
to?
I'm okay, and we're... No, just that. That's all.
You sure I should skip on that part? If she finds out about this, she'll be angry. I don't really want to deal with angry Rebecca. It gives me a stomachache just thinking about it.
Neither do I, but I'll handle it if she gets mad. Just make sure she's safe and tell her to be careful. You too. Take care of yourself.
Almost abruptly, she pauses, the gaze in her eyes hardening as she lapses into another one of those long-distance silences from earlier. It ain't because of the whole fiasco with the letter anymore.
I don't want what happened to Rose to happen to you guys as well.
This one cut deeper. If we're gonna ask about it, Ashton returns, casually swinging his car keys from one hand and gestures to Isabella.
Come on, we don't have much time. Shirley's waiting.
His damn car.
Who's sure? Oh, right. Don't answer that. I don't want to hear it, you huge dork.
Says the person who gave her stuffed toys names. Batcat? Really?
But
It's cute. Yours is just weird.
I'll see you later, Zach.
she spares me another smile, and I watch her walk off. Only now did it occur to me that none of those she gave today ever did reach her eyes. Makes me grab at the back of Ash's parka. He staggers briefly before correcting himself, and shoots me a confused stare.
Is she all right?
What? Who's okay?
Isabella. She's been, I don't know, out of it today? Did something happen earlier?
The scowl on his face says it all.
She's actually been like that this morning. I'll ask, but
Just do me a favor and watch over her. We have no idea what we're dealing with. I don't know what happened to her since the last time I saw her, but from how she's been doing today, whatever it is, seems like a pretty big deal. Wait, you didn't annoy her again, did you? Because I swear to God, if you did, you've got another thing coming for you.
What? No. Why would I? Just so you know, I already apologized for the one at the movie house. Granted, she deserved more of an apology, but I meant it that time.
I'm just asking. I'll take your word for it. But if you can find out what's bothering her, that'd be nice. Honestly, I don't think it's the letter this time.
Something might have happened to her dad. That's the only thing I can think of. If it ain't involved the letter, it's probably her dad. She said she got a call from her mom this morning, and then she'd been busy.
I'll see what I can do.
Make sure you keep yourself out of harm's way, alright?
Yeah, you too. Don't do anything reckless again.
Reckless, no. But I can't make you to promise I won't do anything. After seeing that, there's no way in hell I'm going to pretend there ain't a problem when there is.
Yeah.
This is a really big one, and I'll be damned if I let anything happen to you guys while I sit here. I'm done running when things get tough.
He's about to argue for a moment, but
Look, bro, if things ain't good, I'll be the first one out. But allow me this one thing, aight? Just this one time. If it doesn't work out, you'll be the first one to know. You can laugh then, or berate me all you want. But please don't ask me to step aside like I'm incapable of doing anything to help.
I've got no idea if it's the look in my face or the tone of my voice. Ultimately, although his mouth is pressed in a thin line, he nods.
All right. Stay safe, Zach.
He stumbles in the sidewalk and allows the afternoon crowd to swallow him whole. I like to think the tiny gleam in his eyes is the closest we can get to optimism in this situation. Whether that alone will be enough to give me peaceful sleep tonight remains to be said. I didn't pay any damn attention, but it's fucking October and it's the 31st. Officially like the 31st tomorrow in the game. And is that when everything's gonna go down? Like, we're all gonna die. Fuck, that ain't good. Okay. Night falls despite my best attempts, and despite my best attempts, Steve continues to elude me. With her image still stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, it catches me off guard, with Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was. And a terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach. It's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off even for a little while. Alright, real quick, I am going to take a break real fast. I never did get a drink over here while for this game, because obviously I talk a lot in this game. But yeah, give me just a few seconds and I'll be back. Okay. I'm back. So, let's go and get this back continued. Right. It is not as if there's a complete lack of things to do while waiting for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at 2:45 in the morning, I find myself cleaning my photography equipment for no other reason than to pass time. Although, if I'm going to be honest, it's not the night terrors that are getting me wide awake tonight, but it's the anxiety and hope I'll hear from Asher as well soon. And for what perhaps the 42nd time, my eyes shift over to the end table where my poem still lies. I've not heard a word from them since they left. They haven't promised to call, of course, but a small part of me wishes they would have the common sense to at the very least. Waiting is a tough game, and with the concerns stretching out at the minutes far longer than usual, it's impossible for more unpleasant thoughts not to enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help that when the clock finally strikes 3, my hand stills. I'll be completely utter lie to say my heart doesn't leap straight to my throat at that brief second. My whole body has gone motionless, ears stretching for further sounds. A couple of 10 seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, with how loud the building I'm staying in is, power fluctuation ain't anything new. Every now and then, this would happen. Even a few tenants in a rather bad mood. Nothing unusual anymore after a few years living here. But this time, the sudden hush brings with a stillness that raised the hair on my back of my neck and set my heart beating hard against my chest. Something reeks in the air. In an instant, this place is no longer home. It's a prison. Every rational fiber of my being screams at me to leave. Forces myself to swallow to keep my head clear as I lay down with cleaning tools. And began gathering together the rest of the things scattered around my table. The camera's body, lenses, filters, diffuser, phone, anything my hand could reach. But resulting panic, I get the nightmares, it's the scent that reaches me first. A foul, putrid smell filling my lungs with the heavy sickness of death. Fingers cleanly tight with the camera holding it, close to my body as if the tiny thing will provide me with protection to whatever it is in the room. It won't. Oh fuck, I can hear her singing. It's Ma. But it's the only comfort I have.
Hello? I know you're in here. What do you want?
Something moves behind me. It's all scuttling over the walls, followed by a squelch, painful creak of what can only be rotten flesh and broken bones. Without hesitation, I roll around, my fingers and camera ready, patiently waiting for another movement.
Leave! Leave now! There's nothing here for you!
There's a moment of silence after, and for a short while, I think my pleas work. Then, with no warning, the shuffling resumes, and along with it are the sobs of a woman. Oh! Come on. Come on. Where is she? Fucking hell. Yeah. That's great. The light flashes fleetingly one last time, allowing me a glimpse of her grotesque shape and features before he's once again lost in the darkness. All of a sudden, her tune changes. No longer a soft cry, but a high-pitched shriek brimming with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I have mustered flees from my body at the sound, and the next thing I know, my hand is gripping the knob and bursting the door open. Her wails follow me as I flee into the night. Pacing has always been more of Ash's instinct than mine. When I want to think, I sit and let the minutes tick by until an idea comes to my mind, or my pulse settles down. And yet, the dried leaves and twigs crack under my shoes as I make another pass around them. Terror is too mild to describe what this is. There's no way in hell I'm going back. Whatever she is, pleading won't work. The moment I saw that letter, we saw that letter, she's been chasing after us.
I can't run. Not this time.
Nearly 2 hours have gone by since I left the comfort of my room for the solitude of the park. 2 excruciating hours since I started making calls. No one is answering. Not even Rebecca, who's always kept her phone line open in case other people need her. Or Isabella, who frequently checks hers for any messages and readily responds as soon as she can afford. It doesn't help that Ash hasn't said a word where he went off to as well.
Damn it! I knew I should have asked him before I let him leave.
Knowing him, he can be anywhere. But there's really one place he'll likely be at this time. The sun peeked over the horizon when I make it to the mansion. I have no idea what I'm expecting to see when I got here. There's Ashton, first and foremost. A part of me wishes my assumptions are correct and he's somewhere close by on a stakeout. But I've never been the lucky sort when it comes to that kind of guessing. And even after I made the round the immediate vicinity, I can probably find neither hide nor hair of him. Calling him does no good either, considering how awful the signal is here. He can't be too far if he really is here. But if he is, he would have already noticed me by now. Instead, there's only silence. The kind too quiet to find any sort of comfort in. Even the trees seem to have fallen asleep with the rest of the mansion, oblivious to what's happening around it. A small island of stillness in the otherwise fast-paced world. No wonder the whole Ansem feels at odds with the rest of Luxburn. While the city's alive, growing every minute, breathing every second, pulsating with life, the village remains unmoving. Unchanged. It's not surprising the legends still live up to this day, and why she's still here, walking its hallowed halls. And beyond me, the mansion looms ominously. But now ain't the time for fear. Even if Ash isn't here, I've still gotta let the Wrights know what I've seen, what's in their home. And whatever grievance Ash has with them, it doesn't matter. There might be grounds for imprisonment, but they don't deserve a brutal death at the hands of one malicious spirit. And I'm sure Isabel wouldn't want the same thing. I head straight for the door without a second thought. It takes a few rings. The loud sound loud above the foreboding stillness before I hear footsteps on the other side. Oh God, again?
Where's that damn butler when I need him?
Oh, he looks real pissed than usual. He's even got a dark aura around him. Before long, the door swings open widely, with Mr. Luke Wright standing behind it. Seething would be a complete understatement to describe him. Like this, I've no doubt why Ash would find him a suspect.
You again? It's bloody 6 in the morning. What the hell is it now?
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time. Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't. Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep. Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
Before I get a word in, he slams the door in my face and bolts his shell with much finality.
Wait, sir, you gotta hear me out. You're both in danger if you stay in there. Have you seen the news lately? Everything's not a coincidence.
Only silence answers me. Maybe if it was Mrs. Wright. Oh, who am I kidding? There are limits to how far a person will believe you. Then again, I didn't believe Isabel when she warned us. And now I'm here, desperately trying to save people, even if I'm aware it's completely out of my own capacity to do so. Is this what they call karma? Because if so, this is one horrible way of turning things around. Taking people's lives, playing with people's fears, making them feel useless.
You're around, ain't you? You here? Inside this house? Listening, watching, or whatever it is that you spirits do? What do you want? You're already dead! Leave us!
Nothing. I don't know who I'm talking to, or if the same person is supposed to be doing that. The only thing I got is a feeling of foolishness washing over me. Or perhaps this is just me losing my mind. I have other options and ideas. I let my hands slide off the door surface and fall asleep to my sides. I can go back to Luxburn. Try to find the others. Try to get out of this mess with them. We'll have to know how much deep shit we are all. Both sound good. Either way, my lording here ain't helping at all. I let the quietness call me for a few more minutes before standing up and heading to fetch my bike. It's quite a distance for Luxburn, but if I hurry, maybe I'll reach it, and maybe. The rustling stops as soon as I turn around and strain my ears for any other movement around me.
Yo, Ash, you there?
No answer. If he is here and I just missed him earlier. Already my feet are off in search for the second time. It won't hurt to double check. Triple check even. With how big the property is, he can be anywhere. If things ain't so urgent, if they ain't so dire that people's lives are at stake, I'd probably just have waited for him to show up again.
But damn it! He needs to realize what exactly it is he's dealing with.
That it's not just some petty criminal he can throw in jail. That it is something beyond the authority his police badge can ever give him. The guy needs to stop playing the damn hero and sit down and chill. My breathing comes in short, shallow rasps by the time I make it back to where I started. Still no sign of him. I'm beginning to think I'm just wasting my time here. Oh God, not again. That's Ma singing, ain't it? That's when I hear it. I recognize the melody in a heartbeat. Ma's favorite song. I listened for a while to gauge where it's coming from the house. Coming from the house. My feet start moving before I can stop them. And there, as I circle a corner from the room in the first floor, a single window is open, but I can't make out whoever's inside. However, I'm sure the singing is coming from there. Still, why I'll hear an odd old tune here of all places, I won't know. It's not an obscure song by any means, but it's pretty rare to find someone who knows this. For some reason, Death seems to follow the song around. Pain has logged itself at the base of my throat at once. Whoever is humming might be... I don't want to be a pessimist now, but on the off chance that is Miss Right...
Shit.
I shouldn't just barge in there. I can put myself in danger before I can save anyone. Ash will tell me the exact same words. Might even write me a dissertation on why that's a bad idea if he ain't so lazy. But damn it, god damn it. Someone could be in danger. Enter the open window, keep looking for Ash. It sounds like the fucking woman crying, but I don't know. I know last time I picked keep looking for Ash. So I'm gonna do this one, see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen, so I can search for Ash, but what if it's too late by then? How big this place is, he can be anywhere, and it's very likely by the time we come back, someone has already bit the dust. That, and the cries grew louder against my ears longer and linger. Almost impossible to ignore, dawning on me like a moth to a flame. For a moment, I let myself shudder, shaking the uneasy feeling off my head. This can't be a good idea, not by a long shot. Still, I've got to try. Funnily enough, for a couple high-profile as the rights, they don't seem to have any security detail patrolling around. A few guards here and there, sure, but no one will expect they will have more considering the size of the place. It works to my advantage though, and I really can't complain when there's a high chance I might get arrested for what I'm about to do. Luckily, the window is wide enough for me to fit through without making any noise. There's certainly no going back now. But as soon as I step in the parlor, all of it ceases, while I find no trace of the woman I heard crying like I'm expecting to. Damn. The room is empty at this time of the morning, and I'm left standing awkwardly in the middle of the hush. Maybe she just hid somewhere?
Hello? Are you here? I heard someone earlier, and I'm here to help.
Hoping for an answer, I let the question hang in the air. But several seconds merely go by without a word, or the slightest movement to indicate someone in here. Has been here. The stories I heard, the things I've seen, it takes no effort for my brain to keep going with that in thought.
I'm not going to hurt you. If you're here, say something.
Nothing. Am I just hearing things? No, I'm pretty sure I heard somebody. But with no one responding, I can't but feel silly like this. You're gonna get arrested. Get out now, please. And the awareness that I've just trespassed in a house for nothing because some voice prickles at me. Suddenly, silence feels uncomfortable, and needling anxiety slowly creeps my back. I should get out while I can. If it ain't there, it ain't there. I don't spare the room another glance when I walk back the way I came. Out the window, leave before someone notices.
I thought I heard a servant
Oh,
moving
shit.
around here. Turns out it's just a rat scurrying about.
Uh-oh.
How unpleasant.
My heart shoots up to my throat. I can run. The window is a few steps away. I should be able to escape. But instead, out of complete impulse, I turn around. Perhaps it's only because the impression the guy left me in what few times we've met is nothing but unsettling.
This ain't what you think it is.
You're quite the distance from the kitchen, I'm afraid. Perhaps I should lead you there.
Someone's in here before me. I wasn't here for what you're thinking. There was sobbing and...
The first blow knocks the wind out of me, sending heaving, crumpling to my knees. Fuck, no! Tears roll from my eyes, and the pain swells when he twists my wrist behind my back.
You've gotta listen to me.
Then again, dirty thieves aren't welcome in my kitchen either.
Shit. For a moment, there's only silence, and a sudden piercing ache at this time at the back of my head. The remote really tilts on its axis, dimming. On the verge of unconsciousness, I can hear the scuffling of boot, thud of the door being closed, and a woman crying, asking for help. I know no more. Did he just die? I think I just killed him. Shit. The pain is the worst when I come to. A sharp, piercing ache somewhere at the back of my head, begging to be noticed. But it's nothing I can't handle. Clearly, I open my eyes, expecting to be greeted by sunlight. And I'm in prison. However, the walls that woke me are unfamiliar. When everything comes into focus, I recognize the place for what it is. A cell. Dark, cramped, with the only light that comes from the moon outside, streaming through the sole window bared by the thick metal bars. Memory rushes back to me in sharp bursts. The mansion, looking for Ashton, a familiar tune, a woman crying. All while my head still aches from the hit I received.
Still better than a morgue, I guess.
Gingerly, I pull myself up, stretching the cramps of my shoulders as I do so, but stopping when the sudden movement induces an acute stinging pain in my right arm.
Damn, they got me good. What time is it?
As expected, they've taken everything I have in my person. Wallet, cell phone, my keys, meds, even a small pack of gum. Protocol is protocol. In the first place, I ended up back in another cell in my agenda. The first time was not a pleasant experience, and certainly won't be either. Considering who has likely put me here, it could be much worse. The bars are cold when I touch to my touch when I approach it, looking for a person on duty. They usually allow us to contact someone, and Ashton at the very least has to know I'm here. He'd be pissed, that I'm quite sure of, but he's the only one who can help prove my innocence and get me out. However, much I don't want to rely on him for this. The hallway in front of the cell is empty, but voices flow through from further in. Likely the poor officers assigned to late night duty. Judging from the snippets of conversation I catch, take topic over a snack is moron who thought it'd be wise to cross the rights. They use other names too, most of which I'll like to have words with them about in the future. But really, I'm in no position right now.
Excuse me. Anyone?
Silence.
Excuse me. I need to make a...
Oh, son of a bitch, this woman. Blood freezes in my veins, and my grip on the bars tighten as the revolting scent reaches my nose. More than gore, the foul smell of death hangs heavily in the air. And against my better judgment, I turn. Shit! No! Her face is the first thing I see. A gruesome sight on its own. Eyes gleaming with nothing but malevolence, blood oozing from the large puncture wound on her head. Mouth wide open with a voiceless scream. I clamped down the compulsion to retch. On instinct, I stepped back, put as much distance as the cramped cell will allow between us. The bars rattle as soon as my shoulders hit it. A hindrance, not to freedom, but to safety.
Get away from me!
She moves, short, sudden bone-crunching twitches. And I know there's no escape. I scream for help before I know it, jolting the bars with as much force as I could.
Somebody! Get me out of here! Anyone, please!
Bugger off! Some people are trying to get some sleep here!
No! She's here! You've got to let me out! She's gonna kill me! Someone! She's...
The fuck? I've unlocked a memory fragment. What the fuck? This is fucking new. No! So, I have guesses now. Fuck. So... that happened. Son of a bitch. Give the just. I think I. That was messed. Hey, Damon. This game pissed me off now. I think I got one of my people killed. And or arrested. Well, I know for a fact he's been arrested, but I think he's dead now. So. I just started a new person, and I finally hit like the area where I got no idea what the fuck's going on anymore, so I don't know how it's gonna go. Okay. It's 7:15. Numbers are still little on the top of my screen, and they glare at me with such intensity that I can only hear their accusations. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have a perfectly good excuse, jeez. Considering I don't follow typical office hours, they can't really expect me to be able to just go as I please at 5:30 on the dot. Client is first and foremost my priority. I just sit tight with when my personal assistant Chris tells me we have a big one coming up and that I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on the who's who and what's what when it comes to these socialites, and I trust that judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people and the dramas of their politics. Those sorts born with a silver spoon in their mouths, and those who are used to wagging their silver tongues about. I'll let him handle the negotiating with them for the most part. Why else would I have hired him? But he told me I'd received a message about an hour ago.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, you know. To an extent. Sort of. Press my head against the table. I try to stave off an oncoming headache when a notification for a new email pops up. All I'm expecting is, hey, this looks like a good project I found. Go send them a design. Or something like that, really. That's often how it goes. Even with these rich Jamie clients who heard from me from their equally rich Jamie friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. Which is well and good and reasonable. We figure out what we want, send them my profile, my drafts for their project, my rates, and hope for the best. This big climb, Marianne. I'll babysit and brew with you for you. Just please take this project. I promise this person is huge in Luxburn. Mr. Parker, this is a formal request to exceed servants of A. McCullough, hereinafter called the designer, as authorized by Hannah Wright, hereinafter the client, for interior design work at Ummergard Mansion, blah blah blah. Client hopes they'll be there on the October 21st, pending time. But I just open the email and see I've been requested by the client specifically. Well, I certainly didn't expect that. And it's pretty straightforward, too. God, I really want to know how her haunting comes about. Because when you see her and like with other people and stuff, she's all professional acting and stuff. So you don't really see how, like, her view on any of that. Anyone else will probably be excited. They'll be working with the Hannah Wright. She's just one of those rich socialites that everybody loves to talk about, no matter how hard I try to tune out the nonsense. It would have been enough for me to reply in information to Chris and leave, but he has never pleaded with me to take this project before. We've worked on big personalities in the past. Celebrities, bankers, and even a few politicians. My PA has been indifferent about those. So the question bounced around my school before I spied one of the emo attachments. A newspaper clipping from the Luxburn Daily Business section boasting at the headline, Wright Enterprise donates 2.5 million euros to refuge. Certainly caused quite a big stir back then. Apparently they had invited businessmen and socialites everywhere, and the guys had been some big business announcement.
2.5 mil and an expensive looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
I thought I should be so callous. They're gonna do a lot of good and help the community people with these pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such acts, whether they were for show or not. Honestly, the beginning is always like really slow as hell with the new characters, and I have like what, 2 more after her, I think. So it's gonna be definitely a thing. But one of them is a fucking detective, so that's gonna be interesting as hell to see how that goes. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline on my way, however, I find myself staring at the picture that came along with the clipping. Because, wow. Here I am, expecting a sour old woman in a blazer and skirt, but the woman that is plastered on the front page looks like she belongs on the front page of the entertainment section, or even, if I'm being crass, as a pinup for a glamour. Okay, I'll be real here. In a men's magazine. She sure knows how to rock that dress. Wait. Her hair, her eyes, her lips. She can't be her. And at the same time, she is her. Only several years older. She looks just like... No, come on, Mac. Hey, the world is full of pretty blondes. It's just a coincidence. What's just a coincidence? Do we actually know her from before or something? With a shake of my head, I snap out of it and reach for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. Who will also be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I say. Yet I stood up, moved from my chair, face flushed and heart racing. I could only stare until I will myself to reply that yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more time for me to just close the image and shut down the computer and leave. Even then, it already burned my its image in my head, no matter how much I wish it would just disappear. It makes me eager for the alcohol in the company. It makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. It's a good thing that the nearest pub is just a hop, skip, and jump from here. I want to see the relationship things real quick. Okay. Well. That one's low. It's the only one that I fucked up, though. So, plus? I think I fucked hers up twice, so that's probably why it's so low. The Galway Shaw, as it's called by those who frequent the place, is the only decent Irish pub in the country, in this county. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they call it by the official name, the Crawl Bar. My home away from home ever since I've moved to Luxburn. And well, that's not when I'm cooped up in my condo working anyway. There's good alcohol, good company, and thank God, St. Cecilia, good music. Crowd favorites like the Brothley Noise, the High Wesleyan Men, and Second Fusion Orchestra are often played. Not to mention the singing. I love singing. Anyone could just break out into a drinking song, and the others in the pub were just wonderful that they start singing along. Doing so while intoxicated is the best way to go about it. Hey, it's a win-win as long as I don't puke in the middle of a chorus, and as long as I can get home in one piece in a day. Oh my god. Tonight's karaoke night. Oh god. Drunk karaoke. That's fun. What better time than to try and sing all my worries away. That's what my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am, and in the prison of my heart, I was my only slave.
But the drinking only reminds me of home, and the thought of home makes me think of her. She's a fucking good singer though, damn.
But in the depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
Makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief.
I'll fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Of course, that might just be the booze. Any other day, I would have scolded myself for drinking so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
But I've already have a client, and we'll have our first little meet and greet in a few days.
Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength, the to sing my love letter to you. 'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
I want to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return to being prim and proper professional actor.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride to be. So give her a hand, Galway shawl.
Considering this state I'm in, one can excuse my smug grin as cheers and applause ride from the pub's patrons. Because, possibly off-key singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, and that's a good reason as any belch out in front of these strangers. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere I'd rather be tonight. And I'd forget for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone! A round of applause!
That was so good. You rock, Marianne.
Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh?
Read 'em and wait, bitches.
Kamala's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for the world to see. She has reason to be proud. 3 years living together, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Obviously, she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am. But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
Of course, if something like Karna's divorce were to happen, I'd be there for Cam. Just as Cam has been there for me, acting more than just my yoga instructor. I can't be happy for my friend right now.
Cheers!
Cheers.
Well, we both will be there for Cam, won't we? Haruna and I? Haruna. It's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person. Even loaning me money to open a studio, and she didn't deserve that what her husband pulled. I'm happy she's smiling again, and pigging out like she used to. I think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. We met in yoga class, something I joined to keep myself in shape, and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I moved to Luxburn. Clearly, it worked like a charm. And it definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I brought my lucky D20 dice with me on that first day. No, sir. I love these girls so much.
What about you, Marianne? You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man.
And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Oh, come on. That's a lame excuse and you know it. You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now. Maybe some hunk who'll be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right?
Hey, look at me. I'm Marianne McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
I mentioned druids and demons once, and they don't even know the rules or understand the numbers mean. And I certainly am not one of those sort of holy person. I am far cry from the miracle work, and I barely have the willpower to fight off demons, especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right. Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
Oh,
That would
God.
explain some things. How do you know you don't have a ring anymore? Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone.
Oh my God.
What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
I like these people. But the more I deny it, the louder they tease until other people at the pub start to watch. It doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arms around my shoulder and leans in.
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
Oh my God. I know that they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. So when Kamala notices my silence and Haruna sees my expression on my face, they stop. And when the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to what they were doing before this whole thing ever happened. Probably won't even remember when they wake up with massive hangovers anyway.
Sorry.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass. They smile. We drink. There's no need to say more. Well, definitely far too drunk tonight. Eventually, the fun times end. It's a weekday after all. And with her not being a nurse, she has to get ready for her next shift. Cam also has a loving fiance waiting for her back home, and really didn't have to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven when she took off early. Really, I understand. I was the one who insisted, who was determined to get pissed drunk anyway. Moving to the bar, I sit. Alone at last. Alone with a stranger, this asshole. This asshole. Fuck, I hate this man so much. Oh shit, I haven't played as him yet. Hold on, how many more people do I got? Shit, yeah, 3 more people. Luke's the last one I play as. I really hate Luke though. He's such a bad person. This guy's like the only person in this game I legitimately dislike. Fuck. I haven't seen him here before. Obviously not a regular. He hasn't said a word and just sits there, savoring his drink. He also shouldn't be drinking because he has a liver problem. This whiskey served neat in one hand and lighter in the other. It doesn't seem like he's noticed me yet. Maybe I should go before he does look my way. Because he's pretty and he was blonde. And those are 2 things plus alcohol never did me good anyway. I thought too late. Oh my god, that's doesn't matter the way his flushed face and Dave's look in his eye, he's pissed drunk as I am. Whereas I feel like keeling over, he looks like he's ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really, he just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world.
Hello there, sexy. Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see. Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
Can you just shut up? Then again, I'll be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Want some between the sheets? Sex on the beach? I'm talking cocktails, of course.
Fat chance. But it doesn't matter. Both know how to play this game. And there are 2 different ways for this night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. The question is, what do I want to do?
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
I don't think he's about to say some witty retort, but he stops himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. I order a mint julep. He gets another whiskey, and we start customary small talk. Of course, he's saying, ask me no questions, and I'll tell you no lies, goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up falsehoods to establish strenuous, fake connection between 2 strangers at a pub, if only to pass time. Whiskey, as I come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old, single, takes care of his sick mother, and is a manager of some sort. Well, I know the reality of all this, so he's making himself look like a nice guy when he's really a douche. Manager of what? I didn't care to listen to the details. Meanwhile, Mint, as he comes to call me, is 29, and I'm... What did I say I was again? Oh yes, I told him I was a professional chocolate taster. Because fuck it. If I'm going to lie about what my job is, I might as well make it fun. You know what? Fair. I would totally do that too. It's a pretty decent chat between 2 pretty drunk strangers. And maybe it's just me, but we might as fucking well expend the tiniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. Would have been nice too if it was just left at that. But during the lull of the conversation, he brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
Wait, how tall is Marianne? Hold on. I actually need to know this. Wait, how tall are you then, Luke? I can't see that yet. Shit. And I think he might have been different from the rest.
Never have and never will, whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
Wait, really? Is that true? St. Lucy was the most beautiful woman of her time. She had men come to her from 4 corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. She was so lucky anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
Well, I know what you came here for, but I came here for a different reason. So not every suitor was gallant, and she was no fool. She had known that sooner or later she wouldn't be able to defend her chastity.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
This guy's killing me. He's really killing me at this point. So, she had taken out a knife and gouged out her own eyes.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, God restored her eyes and made them more beautiful than before. He had a peculiar sense of humor, hadn't he? Because that only meant suitors kept going after Lucy, and she kept her eyes in chalice to scare them away.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
Saint Lucy, help me. Help me turn away from sin. Help me with my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here. I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you. And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream. You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
I would. I mean, you're fucking cheating on your wife. With your future interior designer. Oh. Fuck. Fucking hell, man. Best thing about having my condo so close to the pub is the ease of access. As long as I can still stand and walk, I can make it home. Maybe I need help from a kind neighbor or two to help me with the last leg if I've really gone overboard on the alcohol. But I've always made it home. Sometimes with company. Of course, that had always come with complications, especially the real clingy ones. But it isn't anything a good tip about stalkers who the building security can't fix. I'm always nervous though, even if this isn't the first time I've done this. In the first few minutes when we enter my room are the first few agonizing minutes where I try not to panic. Okay, Mac, so far so good. Don't let him smell your fear under all that liquid courage. He will leave sooner or later, and I'll never have to see him again, just like every other man before him. Yeah, that might be a little harder than you think. I'd like to say to myself that the men I brought into my place were more scared than I was. Yet, there's no fear when I look into Whiskey's eyes, only delight. When he starts touching me, I don't even hesitate when I push him against the door. Roughness is to be expected. And as long as he sticks to the script, everything will go smoothly. We'll have our little tumble in the sheets, he'll leave, we'll forget about it. If somebody asked what I really wanted, I would have told them that I wanted a bed of roses, chocolates, and music. Maybe an Irish castle. But all I ever want is her. And that's never going to be reality. Who the fuck is her? That was my fault, of course. Because I was afraid. Because I was a coward. They would never hold a candle up to her. She was the light of my life. And I let her go. I can't even bother at the thought of her. Just a single thought of her makes my resolve to see this affair through raven.
Wait.
What is it now?
Yes, what is it now? What's it gonna be, Marianne? Sex or not to sex? Well, if you want to be me, I say this is wrong because... Yeah. Yeah, I'll say this is wrong just because... Well, she's kind of freaked out about it now too, so...
We're both drunk.
Well, no shit, we're both drunk.
And?
This is wrong. Don't you think it's a bit fucked up that we're about to have sex and we're just calling each other by the drinks that we had? How messed up are we?
Doll, shut up with the ethics and morality talk. It is seriously putting me out of the mood.
Good. You don't deserve it.
If you want to leave now, Whiskey, I understand. I mean, with how smashed you are, it'd probably be best for you to sleep the night unless you want to be mugged. But I won't stop you. And this isn't going to happen.
Bloody hell.
Of course he'd be annoyed for me putting off our nice sexual congress. But no means no. And beyond spewing a few profanities under his breath, he surprisingly simmers down soon enough. I was worried for a moment that he might try to force something. Instead, he makes a show of fixing his suit, smoothing down his hair, before making himself comfortable in the nearest seat he could find.
What are you doing then? You have a guest in your home. Put the damn kettle on.
He's still
Dandelion
nice.
tea if you have it. But I suppose all you have are those shitty tea bags from the store.
I do. If it isn't for the absurdity of the turn events, I would have flipped him off for thinking I had no taste. But in the end, I just laugh. All I got are cans of Korean ginseng and lemon balm, though no dandelion. Without a second thought, I do wet the tea. That's 3 minutes to get the kettle to boil. 3 minutes where we say nothing to each other. I mean, what do you even say to the guy who you're going to sleep with until I change my mind? I doubt he's in the mood to talk about the influence of Troy's on Mallory. It's still unusual by the time we both sit on my bed with mugs of tea in hand.
Just so you know, whatever is going on right now is a lot stranger and fucked up than the one night stand.
You know, he kind of does have a point, but no.
We are two messed up individuals by your logic.
Everything is messed up, if you ask me. War, terrorism, famine, poverty, loved ones and loved lost. Oh, this whole world is a cesspool.
Again, he has a point, but no. The dead air is telling when it fills the room once more. One would think that this is the perfect time to burst, spill about whatever issue that made us fucked up in person we are today. And it is. But I guess some part of me would rather not put the weight of my problems on somebody else's shoulders. It wouldn't be fair to leave that to a person when I don't even know if we'll see each other again. Sooner rather than later, we both passed out on my bed. Mugs left forgotten on the floor. Alright, how'd that do my relationship? How the fuck did it go up that much? What the fuck? You know what? I'll take it, I guess. He's still a douche, but I'll take it. When I wake up, whiskey is gone. A bottle of painkillers and a note on the table are the only evidence that I wasn't alone last night. I don't even question where these are from, or just how he knew my real name. I'm just grateful for something to help the hangover. Might as well. I have a job to do. Alright, couple days later. Isn't often I think about drinking on the job. But after meeting the Wrights yesterday, it really makes me want to break my self-imposed rules. Because, first off, fucking damn whiskey is fucking damn Mr. Wright. And to top it all off, they had somehow forgotten to inform me that they didn't own the Armored Guard mansion yet when they hired me. What sort of person does that?
Ugh, rich people.
I could do nothing but twiddle my thumbs at this, however. Twiddle my thumbs and wait for the go signal. It's not like I can accept that the smaller projects on this is a big job and I should be ready to start on it any time. Not to mention my PA practically begged me to be patient and wait this out. It's a hard decision to agree, but I did so in the end. Besides, I'm doing this for the Armored Guard manager, not for anything or anyone else. I have a headache whatever I do anyway. I'd go to the pub again, but seeing what happened a few days ago, I'd rather not end up in bed with another potential client. And it might be a huge leap in logic, but a library is the next best thing after a pub. I should go there anyway. I need more books. For Dad. Plus I need to return the ones I borrowed last time. Buying a new book or two to read for myself while I have nothing to do isn't such a bad idea either. So on a Saturday morning, I find myself going to the library in Luxburn to hopefully cool off. If I remember right, this is the same library, I think, as when, in the one option I did with Zach's, where I met Professor Andrew, I think it was. I didn't do that in this set of the game, but I know last time I did it. After returning Erzuli, I think that's how you say it, and a poetry book of Henry Potebrady, I think, I asked the librarian about several titles on my list, though we don't have much luck on that front. Dialogue with Death is already snatched, and she bluntly said she did not keep our mathematical universe for someone who didn't return books on time. I make headway at least when it asked about Siege in the rendition of Havana by Jacobo de Pezuela. I have no idea how the fuck to say anything, so I barely know English. If you count her snarling and pointing at the history section as headway, that is. History section is devoid of any other except for myself and a redhead, though I'd wager a guess that Red's just passing by to get a classical literature section. So many books, so little time. Scanning the books and seeing so many wonderful titles gives me great pleasure. And that's when I spot it.
Hello, sailor. Why don't you come to Mama?
History looks burn architecture. It's not a naval battle book I was looking for. No, it's even better. Newly acquired History Lux Burn Architecture. First edition, too. I know I just have to get it. I've been waiting to get my hands on the book for so long. The fact that there's only one copy proves it to be no problem, though, when Brad reaches out for the same time as I do.
I think I had this first.
Hey, it's
miss.
Becca! I can only stare her down as she refuses to let go of the book. Refusing to let it go of it as well, I raised my brow at her in hopes the fact that I was significantly taller than her would intimidate this girl. Yeah, no, Becca ain't gonna be intimidated by that. Even then, she refused with a rebellious look.
This isn't exactly light reading, miss. I mean, do you even know which architect was at the forefront of 18th century Irish architecture?
I don't know. A beat. She blinks, and I can't help a smirk on my face, which is wiped off when she opens her mouth.
Edward Lovett Pierce, who established the Palladian style through his work with Castletown House and the Irish Houses of Parliament.
Oh, damn.
This bridge was destroyed in this year to delay French troops while under the regency of Mary of Guise.
This is not what I was expecting. Let's be honest, how many people would know these history facts? Aside from me, anyway.
Going right to the obscure ones, aren't you? Easy enough. Tullybody Old Bridge in Clackmannanshire, Scotland, on the January of 1560, if we want to be specific.
You know, when I started this, her route, I didn't expect things to go this way. Having little mini pop quizzes and all that shit, you know? Suddenly, it's a game where we throw these history questions and facts at each other, back and forth in hushed tones until we want to be thrown out of the library. After a while, it goes from some sort of strange competition to a strange but friendly banter, if you could call it that. But as fun as it is, these same students goes down until we're both grinning at how odd this whole scene is.
Marianne McCulloch, my desire for potatoes doesn't quite match what the stereotypes suggest.
Rebecca Gales, the Scots' supposed hatred for the English wasn't enough to stop me from teaching their little spawns.
By then, we'd forgotten about our little tug-of-war, although she still holds the book in her hands. I had let it go without realizing when she answered my first question.
History teacher, then?
Got it in one.
No wonder you gave me a run for my money. Now, if we're talking about architecture, I'd blow you out of the water. You're from where? Luxburn Uni?
Oh no, just St. Goretti's.
Ah yes, Saint Goretti. You'd think a school would choose more appropriate saint to name themselves after, especially when they have very young students.
And I'm guessing you're an architect, if you're so confident about the subject.
Close.
Interior designer, Miss Gales.
Please, just call me Rebecca. You aren't one of my students, are you?
Marianne, then.
I could have said that I was an architect. There's no point explaining why I wasn't one anymore.
So, I've never seen you before. I'd like to think I've met every history aficionado in town.
So she used to be an architect at one point?
I blame the rock I've been hiding under, of course. That, and I'm usually only here on the weekdays if time allows. Work often has me meeting clients on the weekends.
That must be interesting work.
It allows for some creative freedom, sure. But it's like working with children sometimes. Though you probably have it harder working with actual children. The hardest part is convincing them that your idea is their idea.
That sounds exciting.
It is!
But isn't that true for any workplace, though? We just cross our fingers and hope there aren't any man-children in charge of important things. Any big projects right now? I can't imagine that interior designing is a frequent thing.
I'm working on the Ermengarde mansion. Lucky me. That mansion. Inta. Wonderful. Breathtaking. I can't wait to start in it. Now that is beautiful architecture.
She has a fair point. That was actually a really pretty building. A pause. It looks like she wants to say something at the mention of the house. I'm not surprised. The place is certainly popular with locals, especially with the urban legends attached to it. In the next second, though, she seems to think better of it and drops what she's about to say.
So, do you have a portfolio or anything I can take a look at? I'd love to see your designs. Maybe you have some on a tablet. I've met some designers before, and they're always going crazy over these virtual room apps or another.
A tablet? Please. Callicrates didn't need those silly iTabs when he built the Parthenon. I certainly don't need one to design a house.
The computer back of my place is all I have. Why should I buy such an expensive gadget that will get outdated within the year when what I have is functional? The traditional ways had far more personal touch, in my opinion. Not to mention those smartphones are all full tools for procrastination. True that. I can count on one hand the number of people I see going outside only to have their eyes glued to the thing. And fuck touch screens. They're evil things that make typing what should have been a simple task harder.
I do have an online portfolio if you'd like. I can...
Speaking, or think of the devil, seems to have summoned it, because before I can even carry on, Rebecca's tension wanes as she pulls out her mobile. When I assume it's a call, she gives me an apologetic look before she's standing up, excusing herself, all further into the aisles before she goes into privacy. I do my best to give it to her as well, trying to tune her out.
Belle, is something wrong? Lunch at the coffee house? Sure, I can make it. I'm not too far. I can be there in 10.
But with how quiet the surrounding is, she can't blame me if I overhear snippets of her conversation. When she returns with a sheepish look on her face, I know that a friendly chat has been cut short.
Sorry, I have to go and meet with some friends.
It's fine. Totally fine. No need to even apologize.
About the book.
Her embarrassment increases twofold when she realizes she's still holding on the history of Luxembourg architecture. I don't give her time to think about it as I put a hand up and shake my head. Fishing out a pen and paper from my bag, along with one of my business cards, I hand them over to her.
You know, I'm busy with work, so I might not even be able to take a peek at it anytime soon. You can go ahead and have it.
That's nice, though.
But you'll have to ring me up when you're returning it just so I can snag it right away. Deal?
She makes quick work, penning her number down and handing it back to me with a grin.
Deal. Just message me during school hours, of course. You have a good day then.
You too.
During school hours? That's actually a weird one, but okay. With Rebecca gone, I'm left standing in the history section. Although my original plans were to simply sit down and read a good book, or a little pop quiz, if you call it, that made the time pass without any of us realizing it. It was fun, and I do believe I made a new friend. Good job, Marianne. Even though talk lunch, however, I don't feel like grabbing a bite to eat. There's still other books to read here, and I'm hoping to find something that will help me while I work with the rights. Something like How to Deal with Our Soul Professional 101, just in case. I've dealt with a lot of uppity, snooty, and rich clients before, but it better be safe than sorry. Because Luke Wright just takes the fucking cake. And he probably manages to eat it too. It seems the world is conspiring against me for my me time, as my mobile vibrates in my pocket. The moment I find something from the shelves of the classic literature section.
Marianne McCulloch, Charlie Rose Design speaking.
Rose Cooper here, Miss McCullough. I hope I didn't catch you at a bad time or anything.
I haven't heard her voice since before she died. So, fuck.
But I just wanted to check in and tell you that we've got the clear to hand over the documents. Madam Wright told us that we should forward the floor plans to you.
Let's see. Does she die tonight or did she die tomorrow night? I can't remember. Already? How did they go through the process so fast? Sure, there's some many red tape to even acquire the forms and transitioning of the rights. No matter how rich the rights are, it shouldn't be this quick, right?
So, if I can just have your email, I'll be sending them your way.
I'd actually like a physical copy of the floor plans.
Oh, I suppose that's fine. I'm not at the office right now, but I can inform Miss Santos of your request.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. Fuck.
I'll make sure to drop by the office after lunch if that's fine.
Not a problem. Right. Well, cheers.
Right. Cheers.
I don't know. I just don't. Is there some sort of deeper miscommunication when we last met? These things take time. It's been what, a day? Less than that even. There isn't even a point of trying to make sense to these people who seem to be larger than life. Alright, I kinda wanna see real quick where let's see, 22nd. No. Yep, she dies tomorrow night. Great. As it looks like I'm on the clock starting today, I might as well eat. Grabbing some fish and chips from the street food stalls, I found a table to spend time with the copy of Marquita Hassad's The Crime of Love, since Rebecca left the book I wanted. I've read this one before, along with the rest of his works. This would be the 18th time, in fact. Wow. But it's always nice to read through it again, even when I don't have enough time to enjoy something new. Besides, when you're dealing with people so filthy rich that they can just end up playing filthy, you need to have a good old marquis sound device.
La blessure se trouvant sans aucune sorte de conséquence.
The pleasure of something with something of consequence. Good enough. Oh, nope. The wound being without any consequence. Oops. I only got one word out of that entire thing right. Proves how little French I remember from high school. Of course, it's folly to think that things have no consequences when everything actually does. Briar Realty Corporation's Luxburn branch isn't too far off from the city center. Just a few blocks away, and I can easily eat and walk. I'd rather use this time to rest before I go into a flurry of activity. No doubt there will be so much to do once we get hands-on with the mansion.
Still a lot better than working on another condo, at least.
Surely, no matter how much BRC and the old owners put into restoration and preservation of the place, any big repairs would be superficial at most. I'm quite certain that in their haste to sell the property, they did a rush job. It isn't an infrequent thing to do despite how frowned upon it is. There's a lot of hidden issues that would need to get weeded out, and I have to make sure I find every single one of them, especially the more serious damages. Structural integrity is definitely on top of the list we'll have to consider. The building might look sturdy, but it is centuries old. That alone could pose a few problems here and there. Put limitations on what we can do. Besides, despite how much I detest these rich snobs, they can pay rather handsomely, as long as they do an excellent job and do more than necessary. Those two things always make sure the referrals keep coming. I don't even have to hunt down projects for myself. When I do go in BRC's office, I can't help but stop and stare as I enter the building. With the lunch hour closing, employees should have been back already, if they still aren't filtering through the doors. I get that it's Saturday, the people probably feel tired and lazy to be at work on a weekend. But they still on the clock, and not bumming about wasting company time on extended lunch breaks or cigarette sections. The office is spacious, and as is in big corporations, each person is given their space and what's usually a 2x2 meter cubicle. There are a lot more empty chairs than there are actual people working the desks. Reminds me far too much of my last day at Poriskova projects during a massive layoffs due to the Irish economic crisis. But it isn't just that, though. Everything is quiet as a grave. It's as if these people are merely ghosts. Speaking of ghosts, Santos comes through the door, looking as if she's seen one. She looks at me, wide-eyed like a deer caught in the headlights, ready to bolt at any moment. I'd ask out of concern, but I feel it's not my position to do so. What if it's something personal? I'd simply be overstepping my boundaries. Really, it's none of my business. I figured if I was in a better relationship with her, she probably would have asked.
I presume that Miss Cooper told you why I'm here, Miss Santos?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just got back from lunch, you know?
Oh, it's when the ghost woman popped up in the fucking window.
But it won't take too long. Don't worry.
Of course it won't. This whole project has established itself to be a matter done in haste. I do hope it doesn't mean that people are being careless in their duties.
She flinches and looks like she doesn't know how to respond to that. Thankfully, instead of opening her mouth, she leads the way towards the station and goes to fetch the floor plans. It won't take too long, she said, but it does take a bit. Time spent to compose herself, most likely.
You know, we usually just email these things.
I prefer the real thing.
Not that you would know. You probably have your nose stuck in front of a smartphone when you're not working, and even when you should be working, playing with those mindless addictive games. I definitely wish Chris would stop playing that Bad Cat thing during work hours, too. Isn't that the name of her stuffed animal that she had? The fuck?
I know what you mean. Digital painting is nice, but nothing beats the smell of real paint. Not that I go and smell paint like a crazy person, but, you know, the real thing is different.
Wait, what?
Yes, nothing is quite like the real thing.
Checking out the floor plans, I see that I have quite a lot going for me. Now that I know how Ray felt when he found the Central Park West building floor plans just from that one movie. This is why I became an architect in the first place. Jacobean style is at its finest. It's a thing of beauty. Look at these gorgeous rooms, the delicate harmony between the empty spaces. And speaking of empty spaces, it's rather odd about these ones.
I feel a bit silly saying it out loud because I've never lived in a big house, let alone a mansion. But during the tour, I had the distinct impression that the rooms were bigger. Maybe the scale is wrong? It's not much of a problem, and it is an old house.
There had been little details here and there that I would like to address during the open house, too. But it was all forgotten in the wake of Miss Santos' incident with the trouble of the ownership. The wine cellar is going to be a problem. I shudder to think what sort of repairs they did to that place. There might have been things that were swept under the rug, pushed to the dark corner of the rooms, and hidden away in barrels. Water damage that could have been covered up. There have been floods due to heavy rains in West England in the last year, after all. And if there are any sort of damages to the house foundation, that's going to be a lot of work. I was not able to look in the attic as well. For all I know, a whole family of vermin could have made their nest there. Working with pest control is always the worst. The sheer size of this place is staggering, even if I did say it was a lot smaller than I thought. Might have been biting off more than I could chew, but who doesn't like a good challenge? First things first, I'll have to.
So, do you want a coffee? The one from the staff room is pretty decent.
There's really no need. I'm sure you have rules against it.
Rules against bringing someone coffee? That's ridiculous. And even if there were regulations against it, nobody's really here to tell Sir John.
She's got a point.
I've already brought 2 mugs, and I'm not going to drink them on my own. Come on.
I just stamped down an annoyance at being distracted. Seeing the young woman, though, it looks like she has a lot on her mind. If babbling is her way of dealing with stray thoughts, I'm not really the one she should be babbling to. You have something to say? I give her time to speak up. But when she just stares, I clear my throat.
Yes? You have something to say?
As embarrassment creeps up her face, I snatch one of the coffees from her and take a sip. Too hot.
Just thinking and speaking off the record, it must be fun what you do. You go to people's houses and you make them, well, pretty. You're sharing your art with them.
It's a little bit more complex than that. But if you put it that way, it is fun. I wouldn't have done it for 7 years if it wasn't a little bit fun, I guess.
These big clients always have paintings in their homes. Do you have a supplier for art pieces?
I didn't expect to hear such a question from her, seeing as well she handled herself yesterday. I didn't doubt then why she assigned to an important sales like the Ermengarde mansion, despite the little accent she had. Now she looks too young, too nervous, and unsure of herself, although her enthusiasm must make up for that in spades. In fact, I would have believed it if she had introduced herself the way she is at the moment. While watching her now, she looks like she's still be in college. I act a bit like it too when I think about it. I thought she was a teen slumming it out at the mansion when I first saw her there, lying on the ground. Surprise, surprise, she tried to be one of the estate agents handling the property. I don't even know what to make of that whole meltdown that happened with that strange document. If I were the client, I would have been very upset. She'd be in hot water for it.
The clients usually support artists of their own choice. If they don't, I'm always happy to refer those that I know.
That's cool.
They're very picky. I don't think a hobbyist will have an easy time getting their work sold.
Hey, I'll have you know I was a student of the fine arts.
And yet, here you are, selling property. Maybe you weren't a very fine student of the arts.
Maybe I took it a bit too far. She bites her cheek and looks like she's barely holding herself back.
It's not like I had a choice.
She mutters under her breath. I barely even hear it. But the hurt is there. And it makes one wonder what brought it on. Though it's understandable if her reasons what I think it is. Very people make it big in the art world. I can see why she'd be upset about it with that enthusiasm. I'm surprised it went up because of how the conversation went. I didn't have a choice when I left Ireland. It was that or years of unemployment. The recession, the toll it took in the construction industry was out of everyone's control. I don't know what choice she was able to make, whether it was about being art school or something else. But the world is an unfair place. And sooner or later, she accepts it, the better. Still, the forlorn look on her face, I can help but sigh. The girl reminds me far too much of myself when I was younger.
Well, if you're thinking of commissioning your paintings, I'll have to see your work first.
Oh, it's not... I didn't mean it like that. I don't have any paintings.
Really? You sounded a lot like you still did art or want to. Now I'm starting to worry that you might just like the smell of paint.
I'm not a paint huffer, sheesh. I just mean I don't make much anymore. I don't really have the time for it. The tools and materials aren't exactly cheap either.
Everything has a price. It sounds like you're making excuses for something you're presumably passionate about. If you really want to practice art, a little out of your wallet isn't much.
It's not that simple.
It's not? Life's simple. People just like to make it complex. Speaking off the record, I have some advice for you, kid. Either go for what you want, or stop thinking about it when you have something else. That is unless you enjoy making yourself miserable, then by all means.
You know, if you wanted to look at the floor plans without me bothering you, you could have just said so.
Would you have left me alone?
We'll never know now, will we?
A strained air settles in the room afterwards. It doesn't help that she doesn't immediately leave, as she said, lingering awkwardly by the door with a downcast expression. It's clear there's more she's meant to say, perhaps even defend herself and her choices in life. Or she's expecting me to dish out more of that advice. It's an awkward affair, and I choose to hightail it out of the realty office as quick as I can. Alright. I'm going to bed. Well, probably bed. I've been going for about 2 hours. I gotta get up in a bit. God. Marian's is real slow at the beginning. I didn't really realize how slow it would be. Zach's was like kind of a quiet one. Where like it just like changed wasn't a lot of like horror or shit like that, you know. But his was more like sweet and shit. Though I guess now I kind of ruined everything because I think he might be dead. God, this is a mess. But whatever. Thanks for watching. Thanks for showing up, Damon. I will see everyone another time, and good night.